I, I did, but I haven't quite lost the weight that I needed to and that I wanted to. I did, but I had like a major setback every time. The major setbacks, they come in. Lord, when they come in, them major setbacks. And the good thing is, it's no shots, no pills. It's just busting my behind and it back like I was doing the first time. This is my second time on this weight loss journey. My second and final time on this weight loss journey. This is the thing. I just refuse to give up. Now, yeah, and I go to the gym. Like my son always keep me in the gym. That's why I said it don't. Sometimes it don't really matter which gym I'm at because I don't go to the same location all the time, and I don't go to. I'm getting used to going to the gym any time of the day. But, 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 yeah, there's a lot of buts, and I gotta say it again. But, 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 my favorite time of the day to go to the gym, midnight. Even though I got like the gym in part of my house, like I made one of my bedrooms into the gym. It got the cardio, the weight benches, and all that kind of stuff in there. But some of my cardio equipment, I just really ditched it because I said it was just taking up space anyway. So like, okay, well, it's just taking up space. So my Billy Blanks that Sasha sent me. Y'all know I say Billy Blanks is my second husband. So Billy, the classes I don't got so used to now, which I did this a couple of years ago. Which y'all know Angie, y'all know Angie. Oh my goodness, I love her so much. When I say I can't think of where she from, but anyway, I still do her classes sometimes. I just haven't did Angie classes now. Probably in about thank you. I probably haven't did her classes because I don't know how well this gonna go. That's why I said these comebacks right here, these setbacks. Well, I meant to say setbacks. These setbacks. Like I was telling somebody this morning. I don't beat myself up about it. At one point in time, I used to just be like, want to question. Like why, why? But now I don't. I just thank God that I'm where I'm at today because sometimes y'all when I look back over my life and I be like, man, in 22, I'm sitting on the live. Now, remind you, we was on now my first page on TikTok, I can't get in. Okay, so they um I started the second page, which I ain't the one to keep starting them pages like that. I just can't do it. So the second page, I had I was on the live and that morning, and it was in 20. This was in 22, January 22. Y'all, I ain't never stayed on no freaking live. When I ended that live had said that I had been on there for 3 hours and 30 minutes. Me and a couple of more people's y'all know who y'all are, so I ain't gonna call y'all name because it's too many of y'all to name. And my sister, we were just having a good time. But I know I had got up that morning and I had did a couple of TikToks and I played my mama and my daddy favorite gospel songs that I know that they love. I did them TikToks off of them. I end up FaceTiming my son because my son I had to stay at my place because I couldn't leave because I was having some work did. in the house. And so um the only way that I wanted to be there anyway to let the people in so I could show them exactly what I needed did and what was going on, because it was something that was going on with the cable, and it was something going on with my plumbing system. I Y'all, I'm just out of breath because I'm just this right here. This don't bother me. The thing is I'm in a lot of pain, but I push through the pain. And so I'm not gonna tell you that it's easy, and I'm not gonna tell you that it's not easy. I'm not gonna tell you that it's hard, because I literally pushed through the pain. But I had played them gospel songs. It was four of them. When I FaceTime my son to speak to my daddy, my son had told me that my dad wasn't gonna be able to understand what I was saying, and he was like, and me, I didn't get mad with my son, but it was like not like a trigger point or nothing like that. I just was like, okay, well, wait a minute, let me, I kept asking, but later on that night, my son, I went in no shape. My son, he come to pick me up because I don't drive at night. No way, I don't. I got a cornea transplant on this left eye, and I don't say that. So even if I was to drive at night, baby, I be done pulled up to the side of the road and let somebody else. That's why I said I didn't understand what my friend, when they be like, "Oh, I love to be the prince, the what is it, passenger princess," but I see a lot of people say that now. So my daddy passed that January the 20th of 2022. Later on, I get another call, somebody else. Then I get another call. Later on, somebody else. I didn't get upset about, the passing or anything. When I got over there, I end up staying over there at my parents' house all night. And I ain't gonna call no name. Anybody know that they know, they know. When I tell you, if you know, you know. But I will call your name. I'm gonna just say JR. That's all I'm saying. When I sent him a text and I told him that my daddy had just passed, he said, okay. He ended up calling me immediately. He said, I got to hit you right back. He said, um, I'm in the middle of doing something. I got to hit you right back. Y'all, when I tell you that he ended up calling me, for real, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so he ended up calling back, and he told me, he said, he stayed on the phone with me. He said, you all right? He asked about my family. He said, you okay? I said, yeah. I said, I'm all right. I said, thank you. But it makes a difference when you got somebody that really care and that really see, they might not be where you want them to be, and it might seem like, oh, they don't care nothing about you and all that kind of stuff. No, he just saying that some about that part up, some of that part up there. Um, but it makes, when I tell you, it makes a big, big difference. Now, versus to somebody else that had did the calling. Now, the lady, couple of people at the church that I attend. I don't never say my church. I just always say the church I attend. And one of my close friends, she ended up, like calling me. And y'all don't know what in the world this is on this tablet. She ended up calling me. And she ended up texting me. She's like, okay, y'all good. But you know, didn't want anything. Just as long as you said, You okay? And and then I had a couple of supporters that did that. You okay? That's fine. And you don't really have to say. You don't really have to say that. You don't really have to say that. You don't really have to say are you good or nothing like that. Just to let me know that you thinking about me sometimes goes a long way. And I'm not saying it in no bad way, but just let me know. Hey, um, now y'all know my mama got on to me and a friend of mine got on to me for saying this. But I don't mean no harm. Everybody can't pray for everybody. And I'm quick to tell you, God and I got this. Ain't my mama, my, my pastor wife and my pastor or close friend of mine or the deacons or somebody or my son and my sister and brother. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Because one lady, and I don't know if I had shared that incident one time before. One lady, she did that to me. And she came up to me and she told me what God told her to tell me. Yeah, I was in church. It's not this church that I attend, trust me, because it was at another church. And when she came up to me and told me what God told her to tell me, and when the lady specifically said, and because I stopped her, because I was like, I don't let speaking in tongue, you don't know what folks saying, and I try not to judge nobody, but and when the lady said, God told me to tell you that you gonna be a failure and you was gonna fail at everything in life that you do, you ain't nothing but a failure. I immediately lost it right then in church. Man, when I lost it, when I say I lost it in church, I went to swing at the lady and cuss the lady out. The whole time I'm sitting in church. Now, after I don't hit the lady, I'm sitting in church, huffing and puffing. Didn't get nothing out of what the preacher said. Now, how they say you uh, going to you going to the bank, going to church is like getting something out of it. You can't, this see how tongue twisted. Cause all I was thinking about in church was catching that lady again, whooping her on the outside of that church. That's all I was thinking about. Get home, my sister had stopped by. I had stopped by my parents' house. Get home, the lady don't try to beat it to try to tell on me, but she left out what she did. My sister got on to me. My sister said, "You should have left church right then and there, cause you wasn't good." I don't know how my sister know that I wasn't no good because baby, when I tell you I was not no good at all. Cause all I'm thinking about is just I'm just that upset. I'm just that upset. Okay, it's finna rain out here too. It's finna rain. I'm just trying. So I had already did like a mile earlier, but I was like, okay, but I'm gonna try to do like a half a mile, but it's finna rain out here, so I'm gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna try to make it in. I like walking better than I do the treadmill, but I ain't off into the power lifting though, but I do lift weights though. So I don't, cause my son used to get on to me about just doing the cardio, cause I used to think you can just do the cardio. And y'all, I got a couple of trainers that be like, oh, you can't just. So when they told me about the core and the strength and all that, the doctors told me I didn't know what all that mean about the flexibility, the mobility, and all that kind of stuff. But I do work on that. But oh Lord, it's finna rain out here, so I'm finna get off and out here. But back to what I was saying, cause I got thrown off subject. Then so when my sister told me that, yeah, I'm thinking they're like huffing and puffing, but it was no need for me to huff and puff because I, you know. I was in the wrong. But the lady was more in the wrong herself because she want to be like a so-called minister, but she's not a minister. And don't get me wrong, I don't have nothing against women preachers because I don't, I just, I don't, but I just don't really. I know everybody gonna tell me Shirley Caesar is a preacher, but then they gonna tell me about somebody else. I ain't got nothing to do with who God called to preach. I know about what I do. I don't know nothing about nobody else. I don't know. And I'm not gonna say that God called me to preach, and I'm not finna sit up there and play with God like that because that's one thing I don't do. I, I don't I don't know if I had shared this one time before or not. I had prayed and I asked God. It was somebody that I was talking to. My guy know about this anyway because he watches this sometimes too. He know about it. I had um, you know how sometimes when you go through a breakup and you know how sometimes you just trying to move on with your life, just going on, and you don't give yourself time enough to heal. And I prayed and I asked God to show me about this person. Yeah, when I tell y'all, God showed it to me. But I fought myself because I was like, Lord, you know what? I tell everybody, God had to bring me back down. Not saying that I was living so high, but I had prayed and God showed it to me. And I just didn't, I tell everybody, I didn't want to accept it because it was about this guy. And this guy was no good. Was no, baby, when I say he was no good, no good at all. It take my best friend and they tell you it was no good. So the way I tell people, when God took me through what He took me through, I heard that voice when He said, "Now, my child, I tried to warn you the first time, but you didn't listen. So I had to let you go through it so you can pay me some attention." Y'all, I said I'd never do that no more. Cause I had strayed away from God, and I said I never do that no more. I was like, God, I don't know what you call me to do. God, I don't know what this is, but I never do that no more. So that's why, I had got back out into my reading and writing, which I was reading and writing a little bit, but not like that. I had got away from it. I said, but I won't do that no more. Now I don't even let nobody come up on me. Like I would say I'm so easygoing, but I'm not easygoing as I used to be because no, I would just be like, and so the working out, yeah, the 6 days a week, sometimes the 5 days a week, but if I get away with working out seven, and then y'all ask me how long do I work out? Depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing my strength training, I don't know why. If I'm doing my strength training and my core exercises, that flexibility, mobility, and if I'm not taking no classes, well, wait a minute. If I'm taking a class, if I'm taking like a Zumba or dance class or just what that other class is, I forget the name of the other class, but it's more like senior citizen. If I'm taking those classes, I don't know why it takes me like about 4 hours. I don't know why. But I guess in a sense, I think the reason it takes me like 4 hours is because I stop in between and I take a break. So I ain't gonna say that I don't know why. And then I, my cardio, I I only do like when it comes to my cardio, I don't do no more than about 45 minutes. 30 minutes to 30 minutes to 40 minutes. 40 and the 45 minutes that I do, it just be the like the last part be the stretching, which I dislike stretching. But y'all, I appreciate y'all coming in here. I think I done did this. I'm finna go get off my back and my legs. This lymphedema bother me, and it's trying to rain. And so, and the reason that I don't go live, I tried to go live on here a couple of times, but they be playing that music in the background. No, these are prescription eyeglasses. Everybody think they shades, but they're not. They prescription eyeglasses. Um, most of my glasses are like this, but these one is more like the bifocals down at the bottom. A friend of mine, they thought they were shades, and they was calling themselves blind. I said, "Oh no!" I said, "I ain't gonna call myself blind." I said, "But wait a minute, we saying blind." So she went to show her, pull her glasses off to let me look through hers. So when I went to pull these off to let her look through these, she was like, "Oh!" She jumped back. I said, "See what I'm talking about? Cause this lens right here is real. This one right here is real thick." And I said, "You see what I'm talking about?" I said, "Now you gonna stop saying that you blind." But I appreciate y'all and thank y'all for the gifts. Y'all, I'm trying to keep my eyes on the road now, cause y'all know I'm out here walking. So, but I appreciate it. I'll probably go live, but the reason that I don't, cause that music be playing in the background and you can't pin it. But I do go on Instagram, but I don't do on that TikTok, cause I don't really be on TikTok like that. I might try to make a video, or the only time I go live on TikTok for real is to try to save them the clips. But other than that, no, that's the only reason. But thank y'all and thank you, thank you. The same to you. Thank you.